Hello, everyone. How are you? Thanks for joining me. How's it going? Who's the first one here? I want to say hello to Julianne. Woohoo! Hanging with the cool kids. That's cool. That's cool. Hello, Helen. Hello. Celeste Still Structures is here, and that's who sponsors the show. Information below. Celeste Still Structures. And the phone number, website, email will be in the description, okay? So if you need steel structures, please contact us. Let's see, CC is saying happy 2022, New Year. CWS, hello everyone and blessed New Year. Remember, the joy of the Lord is our strength. I love it. Thank you. Raylene is here. Hello, Raylene. Yes, we spent the eve of Christmas and now the eve of New Year's, as they say. Hello, everyone. Is Kim Canadian. Hello there. Thank you for joining. Happy New Year to you. T. Witchen, hello. And Mitzi, Happy New Year to you. Okay, so we will jump right in. We're going to have just well, it's kind of scripted, right? I have a topic I want to talk about, but I want to be kind of like, if you have anything you want to talk about, I want to make sure I pay attention. Happy New Year, Sherry. Thank you. And Denise and Roxanne. Hello. Hi, Denise. Brenda. Hello. Love, laugh, live. Bon année. Oh, yes. We're doing the French, huh? PH Joy. Hello. Hunkered down and glad to be. Oh, I'm so glad. 420 is here. Much love to you. Sheila. Hello. I'm glad you're here. And Linda. Wow, this is great. Wyoming chick is here. Hello. Okay, I'll start with the presentation, the slides, and I'm kind of debating if I want to play a piece of the maybe I won't play a piece of the movie, even though it's like out there on the everywhere for free, but still I don't want the thing to happen again, right? This is fair use. This is like educational, right? Yeah, so we'll play it safe because I want the chat to still be there because I like when the chat is there on replay, okay? Karen, Happy New Year. Jesus reigns. That's right. All right, so how many people are familiar with the movie Metropolis? Have you seen this movie? Because I have to tell you, this is my first time watching this movie. I've heard all about it, but I was never interested in this movie. So has anybody seen Metropolis? Let me know. Are you a big fan? Are you kind of blasé about it? Tell me what you think about the movie Metropolis. Hi, Jim. Happy New Year to you. Jamie, hello. Let's see. Did I get you, Jamie? Hey there. Sheila says, never heard of it. Okay, never heard of it. Uma for freedom. Happy New Year. Thank you. JAC, Jack, never heard of it. Okay, let's see. Love, laugh, live. Yes, in a film class in college. So you watched the whole thing. What was your impression after watching it? T. Witten said, yes, you have watched it, but not a fan of it. Okay, Sherry has never seen it or heard of it. Okay, well, that gives us a little idea. So you haven't heard of it either. You haven't seen it and looking forward to the decoding of it. Okay, well, that gives us a little idea. I mean, like I said, I was never interested in the movie. I heard references to the movie, but it's a silent movie, so I wasn't ever interested in silent movies. I'm sorry to the silent movie people. Just never was my thing. But watching this movie, just for the understanding of what is it about this movie, I understand a lot more. And of course, we're going to get into a few things. But this movie it surprised me. First of all, it's two and a half hours or longer. So it's a pretty long movie. But it was even cut down from, I think, the original length. So we will see. Okay. I will go ahead and jump right in. Monica, hey there. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year in hospitality industry. So busy, but off tonight. You missed some lives. Hey, oh, I'm glad you're here. Yes, I know you're busy. Molly, you're welcome. Superman, well, I guess maybe you could kind of see some of the influences later on for things like maybe Superman. I don't know. Once I talk about it, you can see what you think. I'm not going to recommend that you watch it either way because it is a pretty, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of movies anymore. So the movie is it's quite odd. It's film noir. You know, we've been talking about film noir. So let me make it bigger and jump right in. Okay. So I was shocked to learn what this was all about because, you know, having no idea, I just made up my own kind of conclusions. So everyone knows what this is, right? This artwork here. Hey, 8 Wind is timeless. Have you seen this movie, Metropolis? Let us know. Anybody know what this structure, this architecture is? A rendering of? Anybody? I know when we see things, we tend to know, like, it's just, we all kind of have an idea. Hey, you're drinking Pinot Noir? Oh, you're drinking. That's good that you even mentioned Noir. So that's right. I forgot they do that with the wine, Noir. Okay, that's right, Karen. The Tower of Babel or Babel, however you like to say it. Tower of babbling, Babel. There you are. Okay, so this factors into this movie. Who knew, right? Okay, so that is something that, and you know, I want to do a little bit of Antiquitech, and this would be in Germany. So we're going to take a little short tour to look at the Antiquitech in PH Joyce said Babylon. All right, I'll be babbling tonight. Okay, so then we can see the Antiquitech over in Germany. Isn't that interesting? It looks a lot like stuff over here in America, right? So just showing a little bit of it. You can see more of the spires in the churches. And I looked at a picture of German theaters around this time, and they had that same look on the inside, like real spiky on the inside, kind of looked like a, I don't know, like a labyrinth. You saw it years ago. Isn't it a silent film? Yes, it's a silent film. So, yep, there you are. So, yeah, let's just, you know, take it in, the old architecture. So this is all in Germany. I love the staircase. And I know that when they use staircases in movies, it's a function of, it's a device for, I guess, communicating certain things, right? But we won't go into those kind of details. I don't understand film on that level. And then here we are, Tartarian, no doubt. This is in Germany for anybody who's joining late. And this would be, again, back to the Tower of Babel. And this is a rendering from the movie Metropolis, okay? And this would be in the movie. The building is inspired by the Tower of Babel. Okay, Babel. How do you all like to say it? Tower of Babel, Tower of Babel. And this would be Metropolis. And Metropolis was inspired by a book. Okay, so let's see. Hey, Deborah, Happy New Year to you. Hey, David, hello. How's it going? This is so nice to have you here. Okay, so I'm going to kick the wiki and talk about this movie. And we're going to hang out, okay? So it'll be like if you were at a party that you were hating, okay? And you're in shoes that hurt, right? But you're home, I hope, comfortable. So let me tell you about Metropolis from what the Wikipedia is saying. And you know, normally I have millions of tabs open, but something happened. No worries. Pull it back up. Okay. So, oh, it gave me the Metropolis in general. Okay, bear with me. Let's do the movie. 1927, everyone. Okay, so Wiki is saying Metropolis is a 1927 German expressionist science fiction drama. Where did we hear that? Look at that. Look at how these things are happening. Hello, Jim. What are you laughing at? I'm being goofy already, huh? Rita, hello. New but not new. I don't get to the chat room much. Oh, thank you for coming by. This is great. Tina, Happy New Year to you. So, yes, we are seeing that this is coming out of Germany. Okay. Hey, Dave Walker, how are you? So I want you all to think about what we've been talking about. It's so interesting how this is coming up. Okay, so it's directed by Fritz Lang. Fritz Lang. And it was written by Thea von Harbou in collaboration with Lang. So she wrote the novel in 1925. She wrote it actually as a screenplay. So that's kind of interesting. Okay, so it was produced in Babelsberg Studios in Germany. The studio was called, it is still standing to this day, Babelsberg Studio. All right, so this was during the Weimar period, and it is a futuristic urban dystopia. So kind of reminds you of 1984. So it follows the main character. He's a wealthy son of a city master, and he falls in love with a woman named Maria, who is like a saint to all of the workers that work deep below the earth. So there are class issues and things like that. So he wants to bring all the workers together because he hears Maria say something, and it touched his heart. So let's see. You'll see touches of, they say, Gothic, Cubist, Futurist, and Bauhaus. And they said that H.G. Wells described it as a silly science fiction, and he called it trite. And he said the politics were simply ludicrously simplistic. And its alleged communist message was criticized. Okay, so this is the weird part, and tell me what you think about it. The film's long-running time also came in for the criticism because it was a long-running movie. So it was cut down. Many attempts have been made since the 1970s to restore the film. All right. So in 2008, a damaged print of Lang's original cut of the film was found in a museum in Argentina. This is in 2008. Per the opening explanation, the material was heavily damaged, and because it had been printed on 16 millimeter film stock, does not have the full aperture silent picture ratio in order to maintain the scale of the restored footage. The missing portion of the frame appears black. Black frames indicate points of which footage is still lost. After a long restoration process that required additional materials provided from a print from New Zealand, the film was 95% restored and shown on large screens in Berlin and Frankfurt in 2010. Metropolis is now widely regarded as one of the greatest and most influential films ever made. Don't you find that strange that they are declaring that it is the most influential when a lot of us never saw this film or ever had an interest? Yes, I'm glad you caught that. Argentina. So definitely, I'm glad you're following the things that I'm catching now that I'm reading these kind of things. So Argentina is very curious. The original year, Jim, is 1927, based on a novel that was written in 1925. And the novel was written basically as a screenplay. All right. So, yes, there you are. Very strange things. Okay. So I'll continue kicking the wiki. All right. So for them to say it's the greatest, most influential films ever made. And wow, the film was inscribed on UNESCO's Memory of World Register as first film thus distinguished. Okay. So the plot is this. The plot is that in the future, wealthy industrialists and business magnates and their top employees reign over the city of Metropolis from colossal skyscrapers, while underground dwelling workers toil to operate the great machines that power it. Joe Feddersen is the city's master. His son, Frieder, idles away his time and at sports and in a pleasure garden, but is interrupted by the arrival of a young woman named Maria, who has brought a group of workers' children. I'm being obnoxious. Children to witness the lifestyles of their rich brothers. Maria and the children are ushered away, but Frieder becomes fascinated by her and goes to the lower levels to find her. In the machine halls, he witnesses the explosion of a huge machine that kills and injures numerous workers. Frieder has a hallucination that the machine is a temple of Moloch. Okay? A temple of Moloch. And the workers are being fed to it. When the hallucination ends, he sees the dead workers being carried away on stretchers. He hurries to tell his father about the accident. Grot, foreman of the heart machine, brings Feddersen secret maps found on the dead workers. Feddersen fires his assistant, Josephat, for not being the first to bring him details about the explosion or the maps. After seeing his father's cold indifference towards the harsh conditions faced by the workers, Frieder secretly rebels against him by deciding to help the workers. He enlists Josephat's assistants. So the guy who got fired, the son, found him. So they work together. So he returns to the machine halls where he trades places with a worker who has collapsed from exhaustion. Friedersen takes the maps to the inventor Rotwang to learn their meaning. Rotwang had been in love with a woman named Hel. Hel, Hel, who left him to marry Friedersen and later died giving birth to Frieder. Rotwang shows Friedersen a robot he has built to resurrect Hel, the woman that he's in love with. The maps show a network of catacombs beneath Metropolis, and the two men go to investigate. They eavesdrop on a gathering of workers, including Frieder. Maria addresses them, prophesying the arrival of a mediator who can bring the working and ruling classes together. Frieder believes he can fill the role and declares his love for Maria. Friedersen orders Rotwang to give Maria's likeness to the robot so that it can discredit her among the workers, but is unaware that Rotwang plans to use the robot to destroy Metropolis and ruin both Fredersen and Frieder. Rotwang kidnaps Maria, transfers her likeness to the robot, and sends her to Friedersen. Frieder finds the two embracing and believing it is the real Maria, falls into a prolonged delirium. Intercut with his hallucinations, the false Maria unleashes chaos throughout Metropolis, driving men to murder and stirring dissent among the workers. Frieder recovers and returns to the catacombs, accompanied by Josephat, finding the false Maria urging the workers to rise up and destroy the machines. He accuses her of not being the real Maria. The workers follow the false Maria from their city to the machine halls, leaving their children behind. They destroy the machines, triggering a flood in the city deeper underground. The real Maria, having escaped from Rotwang's house, rescues the children with help from Frieder and Josephat. Grot berates the celebrating workers for abandoning their children in the flooded city. Believing their children to be dead, the hysterical workers capture the false Maria and burn her at the stake. A horrified Frieder watches, not understanding the deception until the fire reveals her to be a robot. Rotwang becomes delusional, seeing the real Maria as his lost Hel, and chases her to the roof of the cathedral, pursued by Frieder. The two men fight as Friedersen and the workers watch from the street, and Rotwang falls to his death. Frieder fulfills his role as mediator by linking the hands of Friedersen and Grot to bring them together. So that's the plot, okay? Tracy, hello. Actually, this sounds not too far from, yes, it's very, very interesting how things really start to connect. So this is another picture, and you can see the Art Deco elements, and you see all of the flying, airplanes, and you see a lot of traffic. And this was inspired by the director Fritz Lang when he made a trip to New York City. Okay, so that's how supposedly he was inspired. So you can see some of the artwork for the marketing materials here. And I'm sure you've probably seen some of the different things. You said Coca-Cola sponsored? Really? Where? I don't see it. Does it say Coca-Cola on here? I don't see it yet. And then I want to just tell you that it's so weird. Lately, I like to play with fonts when I create my my thumbnails and things. And I really like fonts. I don't know about you. I'm kind of like a techie nerd. So the thing that I had noticed is a week or so, I changed over and started using the Metropolis font. Okay. And I was like, wow, it's weird how you just start doing things you don't know until you realize like, wow, okay, I know this is like a coincidence, but still, I'm just saying, I've been using the Metropolis font. And here are some posters. And if you see something, say something, okay? Because it's pretty much right there in your face. And this is 1927. You said, Tracy said, yeah, Jen, you be tricky with your thumbnails. I have so much fun, you all, creating those thumbnails. It's like one of my little hobbies now. If you want thumbnails, yes, it's interesting, isn't it? If you see something, say something. Look at the movie posters. Yes, right? I agree. Exactly, Tina. Yeah, right there. So Molly said, I see boobs. Yes, that's right. Clones and droids. There you are. It is right there. So, I want to just go back to the aesthetic that, they like us to think about with the 20s is it was roaring 20s, roaring. And these are the Flapper Girls. And then we have Josephine Baker, which I found interesting that she was in a top hat. But I'm starting to notice the top hats in a lot of the imagery. So I'm going to, I'm going to pay attention a lot more. There is our beautiful Harlem Sentinel, Karen Scott. It always been in our faces, right, Karen? Right there. So it's just amazing that we thought times were more innocent. So this is based on a novel by a woman named Thea von Harbou or Harbou. Okay, so remember we looked at the Imitation of Life. It was based on a novel, and it's interesting, these women are writing these novels, right? So this is a novel that came out in 1925. Just in time. Look at that. So here is a picture of Thea, the writer of the book Metropolis. Okay. So Thea is from Germany, and so is Fritz. Yes, the Monopoly man wears a top hat. Yes, exactly. Hey, Aaron, every kids series will have a top hat episode. Really? Wow. Yeah, it has been right in our face. So this is Thea. And Thea got her big break when, after she wrote her book, she appeared in a magazine. I just wanted to show you, just so we could go back in time, as they say, okay, or just go to this timeline, I'll just say, and we can see that not many things are different about culture and society. They had magazines, and we have magazines, and they had a star culture and a Hollywood over at Babelsberg Studios. So I just want to show you that she was a big deal, okay? She was on a magazine. She had arrived, baby. And here's just a little collage of Thea, okay, as she got older. Thea reminds me of somebody that I know. You saw this film, Patrice, in college? Tell us what you thought about it. Please tell us what you thought. Mandela effect. Yes, right? Something's going on, right? So this is Thea, and I already know what you guys are going to say. I already know you guys are messy, 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 and shady, and I love you. I already know what you're going to say. I'm just waiting for the first one to drop down in there. But this is Thea, and this is, earlier pictures, I guess, with the camera being invented, We see lots of pictures, right? You already see, I can't with y'all. See, right, Kim? You already know. I don't even have to say anything. I just let you guys rip because you guys are always on it, okay? So this is Thea. And Thea and Fritz got together, okay? So they got together and got married. And here they are at their home in Germany, and they're working on scripts. They were a combo team, and they created lots of movies. you guys, you guys, Roxanne, you guys, all the time, right? All the time. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's look at things like the aesthetics, okay? Let's look at the furnishings, okay? Because I'm looking at the wall hanging on the back. Do you all see anything like, you see something, say something? There you are, Aaron. Aaron's picking up on this stuff. Dragons were cool, huh? Dragons. So yeah, there you are. So Fritz and Thea were, I guess you would say, similar to a Hollywood power couple. Yes. So this is the couple behind Metropolis. And what brought them together, they said, was their mutual love for India and everything to do with India. Okay. So isn't that interesting? They had that in common. Hello, Brian. How are you? And thank you for joining. Karen said, look like your man. I mean, I'm just saying, like, that's Thea. And so they had a love for India again. And so here we are now. Actually, let's go back a bit. Let's talk about Thea a little bit more. Okay, because I want to just tell you a little bit about Thea. Let's read her wiki. Can we kick her wiki? Yeah, let's kick her wiki. Hey, Ernestina, how are you? You're not late, sister. Thanks for coming by. Yes, let's kick the wiki with Thea. Okay, Thea Gabrielle von Harbou was born in 1888. Okay. She was a German screenwriter, novelist, film director, and an actress. She is remembered as the screenwriter of the science fiction film classic Metropolis in 1927 and for the 1925 novel on which it is based. And Harbou collaborated as a screenwriter with film director Fritz Lang, her husband, during the period of transition from silent films to talkie or sound films. Okay. And she was born in Topperlitz, Bavaria, in the German Empire. Okay. And she died in Berlin in 1954. She was 65 years old. So her family, she was born into a minor nobility family and government officials, which gave her a level of sophisticated comfort. As a child, she was educated in a convent by private tutors who taught her several languages as well as piano and violin. She was a child prodigy. Her first works, a short story published in a magazine and a volume of poems published privately, focused on perceptions of art, subjects considered unusual for a girl of 13. Despite her privileged childhood, Harbou wanted to earn a living on her own, which led her to become an actress despite her father's disapproval. This is going to get, you guys wait until you hear this. Okay. After her debut in 1906, Harbou met another guy and married, 1906, she had married somebody else. That's what was going on. She and Kleinroche, They had moved to Berlin, where Harbou devoted herself to building her career as a writer. She was drawn to writing epic myths and legends with an overly nationalistic tone. In one historian's estimation, her novels became patriotic and morale boosting, urging women to sacrifice and duty while promoting the eternal glory of the fatherland. Her close interaction with cinema came when German director Joe May decided to adapt a piece of her fiction called Die Helix Simplicia. From that moment forward, her fiction output slowed down, and she then became Germany's most celebrated film writers. And her partnership with Fritz Lang only increased her as being, they say, a German luminary. One of her brothers, he also did photography for her as well. Okay, so Thea and Fritz, again, were marked by a common interest in India. And let's see. She was not only well liked by her colleagues, but also as much a creative force, as highly motivated and smoothly efficient as her husband. Her loving personality was crucial to the professional team. They say that she had an ability to reach out to people and find compromises in bad situations. And she had began this affair with Lang while she was married. So they ended up, she got a divorce, and Lang's wife died. Okay, so yeah, I don't know how that all happened, but it says Lang's wife died, she got a divorce, and then they worked on a script that would reflect their pride in their German heritage called Die Melalungen. I'm sorry, okay, for the German speakers. Okay, so she became known for her unique habit of wearing the same dress throughout filming. That doesn't sound like it smells too good. Even as she cooked hot meals for the crew during late nights. Visitors remembered Harbou taking charge of all the domestic and social responsibilities when they visited the couple's apartment. They said it was great poverty around this time in Germany. So she would get food for the film crew. And let's see, she would fight for them to have food. So she was such a spirit of sacrifice, they say. And let's see, what else? It was something else. This was weird. Her next major collaboration with her husband, Fritz Lang, was a piece called M, the letter M, in 1931. It was a film about a child murderer. It was written with exquisite attention to accuracy. I find this very, very weird. Lang and Harbou had been enthralled with news coverage of Peter Kürten, known as the Monster of Dusseldorf, during the late 20s. She used newspaper articles in developing the script and maintained regular contact with the police headquarters on Alexanderplatz, and was permitted access to the communications and secret publications of Berlin's police force. Isn't that weird? Okay. So she had a system of having the script typewritten she had ribbons stuck together, black ribbon, red, and blue, so that she could organize how the script would be written. That was pretty interesting, I thought. So she was also involved in politics, joining the campaign against Germany's paragraph 218, which made abortion a crime. Okay, so she was very pro-abortion. All right, so shortly after Harbou married Lang, he developed a habit of openly pursuing younger women. So they weren't happy and basically got a divorce. And she ran off with somebody else. I'll tell you about that. I have a picture of that. She secretly married this other guy. All right. So remember what happened with the other writer that we were talking about? Well, this is what happened to this couple as well. All right. So Thea started writing films for the Nazi party. So she became a Nazi. And then Fritz moved to America to get away from her and her Nazism. So it seems to be some connections, right? Okay, so another guy's ex-wife turns into a Nazi. What now? How in the world do you have two stories like that? Is that odd? So here we are. Thea, maybe she was going undercover there, maybe helping the police, the German police. All right, so there they are in their happier days. And now let's talk about Fritz. Does anybody know about Fritz Lang? Does anybody think about, or do you know any of his other movies? Hi, Chris. Happy New Year and peaceful chat. Hello. How's it going in the chat? Is it going well? Nobody is coming by saying crazy things anymore. Like no bots. Seabreeze, look at the football shoulders. Oh my goodness, right? They're so obsessed with death. I mean, when you think about, I'm not trying to come down on the people that love, like I said, the police and the crime dramas. This stuff comes out of that, okay? It does. It just really does. So bizarre, right? Yeah, so I'm looking at your comments. Okay, so yeah, another wife becomes a Nazi. No trolls or bots. Thank you, Kim. Yeah, so Fritz. Fritz is, let's see. Hi, David. The picture in the dictionary next to villain. I know, right? He does kind of look like a villain. So let's talk about Fritz. Okay, let's go kick his wiki. Okay, Fritz. His name is Friedrich Christian Anton Fritz Lang. He was born in 1890. Okay, the 1800s, everybody. We're going to get into the 1800s, what was going on. He was an Austrian, German, American film director, screenwriter, and occasionally producer and actor also. So he was known for his expressionism, and he was dubbed the Master of Darkness by the British Film Institute. All right, so Lang's most celebrated film includes the groundbreaking futuristic Metropolis, okay, a film noir precursor that he made before he moved to the United States. He was born in Vienna, second son and of an architect and a construction company manager. And he was baptized in Vienna. His parents were of Moravian descent and practicing Catholics. His mother, born Jewish, converted to Roman Catholicism before his birth. And he attended a finishing school, and he also studied painting in Paris. Let's see. He made 23 features in his 20-year American career, and he worked a variety of genres at every major studio in Hollywood. And he became a naturalized citizen in 1939. He received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and he interned at Forest Lawn, Hollywood Hills Cemetery in the Hollywood Hills. And All right. So Lang is credited with launching or developing many different genres of film, including helping to craft the entertainment war flick, and that his interpretation of the story of Bonnie and Clyde helped launch the Hollywood film Noir. Is that interesting? So Bonnie and Clyde's story was what inspired Hollywood film Noir. And he was also believed to have set the blueprint for the serial killer movie through M. So that's how they really became very interested. So he ties into the whole crime drama genre, okay? All right, so that's Fritz Lang. And you know, he was known in the film world and celebrated. So this is him on the cover of a magazine, a German magazine. And there was something going on with this. I don't know much about this eye piece. I didn't see anything about it in the wiki. Does anybody know about him with the eye, the monocle? So he had a monocle. And look at the technology. When I look at this picture, I think of the steampunk, right? Steampunk. So yeah, so we see a lot of intrigue with this particular artist rendering. And if we didn't know anything about this man, we would just look at this. It looks like just a whole lot of things, but it makes sense now because I knew nothing of this guy. So this was the type of stuff that he put out there in Hollywood. Okay. Okay, then. Yes. Okay, then. And so you can see Fritz as a director. And I wanted to show the behind the scenes making of Metropolis because you can see how he is very hands on. And you can look at film is very much a discipline when you start to understand the people that are behind the camera. This is an art, and I didn't understand how much these people are trained. They don't just make movies because they get an idea. This is very crafted, and certain people are in this field and they have to know these kind of things. So these secret, I call them, you know, they call them mystery plays. So this is how they hide messages in film, and they use a lot of set piece because a lot of these people, these directors, they know how to set up a stage as well. And for you realtors out there, you know that you have to set a home before you could sell it, right? You have to set it all up and make it look like it's been lived in. You know, those realtors that will even start baking cookies before you know, when you come in to a home that is for sale, and they'll have it just smelling like cozy and you want to just buy it, right? Carrie, hi. He is not wearing the monocle. That leads me to believe that it is an affectation. Oh, yeah. Hey, Dana. Dana, she's here. You could probably answer some of these questions, Dana. Late. No, you're not late. Watching it speed up. Okay, good. Thank you for coming by. So you can see that a director, I think when I look at a director, they are kind of like playing God because they're, you know, they're controlling everything. And the actors and everybody has to listen to the director. So they have the eagle eye of the whole production. So 1 minute. So I wanted to read this. When the movie began, I snatched this because I want to just read it to kind of give us an idea about something with this film. Okay, soon after its premiere, Metropolis. Now, mind you, this is before the movie starts. So this is part of the, the opening to the movie if you watch it. Okay, I'll start again. Soon after its premiere, Metropolis was severely shortened. It's over 2 hours, and altered. I want to hear what you all think about this, okay? Since then, more than a quarter of the film was assumed to have been lost. In 2008, an almost complete version of the film was discovered in Buenos Aires, Argentina. The material was heavily damaged, and because it had been printed on 16 millimeter film stock, does not have the full aperture silent picture ratio. Then it goes on to say, utilizing the footage from Argentina, a virtually complete Metropolis has been reconstructed and its proper editing has been restored. The text from the intertitles was taken from German censorship records and has been translated into English. In order to maintain the scale of the restored footage, the missing portion of the frame appears black. Black frames indicate points at which footage is still lost. Intertitles, when they say intertitles, that's like when they have, they tell you what's going on in a silent movie, So intertitles in a different typeface, such as this, have been added to summarize the content of missing scenes as far as necessary for the understanding of the story. So they deal with these elements here: the creative man, the machine man, death, the 7 deadly sins, and Maria, who is played by an actress named Brigitte Helm. So the epigram, and I had to look up this epigram, because I have to look up everything now. Let me look it up again. Epigram. Does anybody know what epigram means? Epigram. Let me look it up. Anybody know about epigram? I'm going to tell you. Epigram is a concise poem dealing pointedly and often satirically with a single thought or event, and often ending with an ingenious turn of thought. So the epigram is the mediator between brain and hands must be the heart. And they say this a lot in this movie. The mediator between brain and hands must be the heart. Hey, Jim. Negrescence already, right? Yes, I already see negrescence all through this, okay? So you already know. Erin said she admitted it in an interview, Sasha Fierce. Oh, yeah, she's going to come up. Yeah, why would so much be cut? Do you really believe that they found this film over in Argentina? It had been lost and they had to restore it. I don't believe it. I don't. Hello, Jamel. Thanks for showing up. You watched a documentary about they channel spirits to act in these movies and get film ideas. Oh, wow. I'm sure. Because where else would it come from? This craziness. And, so these are some of the elements of the film. It looks a lot like 1984. If you look at this, I mean, the people are just walking to work, to their jobs. They're working for the Metropolis, for the Industrial Revolution, for the machine. Okay, so they're just, nondescript people who live underground because they live underground and work underground. So the only people that live above ground are the elite. Okay, so yeah, they try to, let's see, cast their spells. They must reveal it to us first and get us to accept its outcome. Big reason why they got so many people into the zombie reality. We buy it up, and that's enough consent. Exactly. We have to learn how to take our consent back. If we really unpack this entertainment that's been foisted upon us, right? And we have accepted it. We've been entertained by it, even because I'm going to just tell you, like, watching this silent movie, I was surprised I was able to watch it. And I have to say, it was really done a lot better than what I expected in terms of how they had the stuff moving along, plodding along, and the special effects. Back in the I don't know. I'm just, I don't believe their timeline, for one. And I know we're saying Happy New Year and everything, but we know that it's not the new year, but we're just saying it. That's why we're hanging out. That's why, I was like, listen, I'm going to come hang out with you guys. Whoever's out enjoying New Year's and stuff, that's fine. But I just feel this year I'm not into it. I just have changed a whole lot. I'm ready for the new world. I don't want to even help them out anymore. Yes. So, hey, DT girl, hello. You're going to catch up. Good. Okay. So you get the feel for 1984. So I just wanted to show you a little bit, because I don't know if I'm going to play a little bit of the film to give you an idea. I just don't want them to strike any copyright stuff. So I'll tell you as much as I can. All right. So this is the cast backstage, and I think it's interesting that they call it cast, because when you think about these words now, it's like casting spells, and that's what they've been doing. These are the people with the top hats and the rabbits that they pull out. So when you look at them, this is the reason why I wanted to show you this, is that they don't look too much different from people in our modern days, right? You look at them and you just start to see that even though it's in the 20s, you could just update their clothing, or maybe they could play a period piece and they just look like people that are hanging out in our current timeline, right? So I'm just saying, like, I just wanted to show you that and see what you think as well, just looking at them hanging out. And you can see that Fritz, he's a little handsy. He's got his arm around the starring lady. Her name is Brigitte Helm. And this is an iconic photo from the movie, in which her name is Maria. And there is a man who lives in a very strange home, and he is like an alchemist, I would say. He's a wizard and all of that stuff. He knows the science, and he's in love actually with the guy that is the master of the city. I remember I read that already. So he's in love with a woman who he is trying to take this woman's consciousness and download it into the robot. Okay. So he is in love with this woman. He wants to put the consciousness in the robot. So one thing about silent movies, have you all ever watched them? It's like they do all this like over, like, it's like, and I realized, like, wow, that part to me was new, because I never paid attention. Like, they do all this like movement, and it's like, they're running and they're doing, it's like, wow, it really translates so much. You can, it's overly emotional. And that's what we've been learning about melodrama. And this is what's come out of Germany. So these German expressionists, this is exactly the style that they're in, the over drama. Remember I told you, like, it's like the nighttime soap operas, and they slap each other. How dare you? And they throw a drink on you. So it's just over the top. So this is what this genre and film noir is all about. So you can see this is breaking the fifth wall, which I like to do, break the fifth wall of illusion. So you can see the actress that plays the main character, Brigitte. They're, touching up her costume and giving her a drink of, I don't know what's in the glass. We can only assume maybe something with electrolytes. Maybe electrolytes, huh? So what do you see? If you see something, say something. What are you seeing in this picture? A lot of interesting things, people. What the heck have we been allowed? We've been allowing this crazy. Let's see. There you go. There you go. What in the world, right, people? What in the world? There you are. Ridiculous. So this has inspired our film industry. So, yeah, 1920s. Okay, so shout out to Paul Romano, because I love his channel and I love that he calls Instagram Instagool. So we're going to look at what I would just pretend would be her Instagool if we were to go back in the 1920s and have Instagram. So, what are you going to say? Photography. She's doing, it looks like a selfie, right? I don't know, people. What's going on? What's going on? What do you think? CP30. Yeah, that's probably where they got the idea. Hey, Molly. Jen, you've made this transformation for humanity so much easier. Thank you for your precious time, Graham. Oh, you're so sweet, Molly. Thank you. I'm having fun with you all. And we're going to hang out. I'm going to take my time. This is New Year's. Hey, Sandal Phone. Hello and Happy New Year's. I love your idea of early Instagram. We got to laugh, okay? I have to make this engaging, okay? So this would be early Instagool, 1920s, okay? So this is Brigitte. Brigitte. Do I have any German speaking people out there? I'm going to try to say things correctly, but you just bear with me, okay? Brigitte Helm. Okay? So Brigitte, yeah, so here we go. Brigitte is like kicking a little early Instagool. And I guess, she'd be letting you know, hey, everybody, I'm trying to get these rolls here. Hello. She's hitting her angles, okay? Look at her hitting her angles. What do you think? If you see something, say something. Early Instagool that I put together. If you see something, say something. What do you see? Let me get a drink of water. I'm going to wait to see the chatmosphere light up with some ideas, some impressions. What do you see? This is Brigitte striking a pose, right? There you go. I'm done. Okay. All righty. So Brigitte Helm. There. This is when she's getting real saucy now. She wants these rolls. She's like, look, take a picture of me on the phone. So look at that with a fur. And she's got, look at that. Look at that. Sultry, Dana said. Sultry. Yes. There you are. Early Instagool. And then this is the sort of like, her little pets. She liked pets a lot. So she had various pets, dogs, and you see the black cat. And then she was, I guess, in a picture where she had to star with a cheetah. And I found that to be interesting because that must have been a real thing, because Josephine Baker also had a cheetah, but she had a cheetah as a pet. Is she channeling an Egyptian goddess? If you think she is, because I just want to see what you all see, because I see things and I don't know sometimes if other people are seeing it, right, Patrice? Right? Josephine had a cheetah, right? So, yeah, This would be very Instagooly. I can see somebody posting all this kind of stuff on Instagool. Uh-oh. What-oh. What just happened? Brigitte, she's letting you know, hey, I'm on the cover of Sketch. Okay? Look at that headpiece that they made for her on, for the set of Metropolis. Right? Somebody said cornrows. Oh no. And these are just scenes from Brigitte. And let's read her, let's kick her wiki. Okay, Brigitte, born Brigitte Gisela Eva Scheitenhelm, was born in 1906, was a German actress best remembered for her dual role as Maria and her double, the Maschinenmensch, in Fritz Lang's silent film Metropolis. She began working, she was only 18 years old when she played in Metropolis. So after that, she made 30 other films, including talking pictures, and she retired in 1935. She died in 1996 at 90 years old in Switzerland. And she married twice, and according to the Nazi Party's press chief, Obergruppenführer Otto Dietrich's book, The Hitler I Knew, Adolf Hitler saw that manslaughter charges against her, wait a minute, from an automobile accident were dropped. Oh, wow. Okay, let me go back, because I think sometimes I don't, because I'm jumping through. Okay, let's back up a bit, okay? Rewind. Adolf Hitler made sure that manslaughter charges against Brigitte were dropped, in which she was in an automobile accident. So, what are we seeing here? She had 4 children, they say, when she moved to Switzerland. Oh, you see Cher's outfit. Yes, that's a good point. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So that was Brigitte's little wiki. Okay. So this is behind the scenes, and I'm just showing you Fritz at work as the director. And you can see that Fritz is, I don't know. It has to be pretty odd to have a guy in your face, So, that's what I mean by they're like God on the set. They're directing every little thing. So you can see him, like I said, is very hands-on. It looks like he's even helping with the makeup and everything. So that's Fritz at work. And this is Brigitte in hair and makeup. So you can see sort of the thing that they created for her, that headpiece that became iconic with the widow's peak, right? You see another pentagram? Where? I missed that one. Yeah. So this is a scene from the movie. Children factor in pretty big into the storyline. And I'm going to definitely, because I told you all that I'm doing research on the orphan trains and the whole Tartarian architecture that was used for orphanages all over the world. So I just wanted you to know that children and something is going on, everyone. I'm gonna get to the bottom of it, so I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted, okay, for that. You said conehead. You guys, I knew you'd be making me laugh. Yes, so the children, yes. And this is a scene where, she's going down into the depths where the workers are. And this is the false Maria. And she causes them to rise up and destroy the machines. And as a result, the city floods. And you can see some of the antiquitech, do we want to call it, technology, some of the special effects and things like that. And this was very interesting because you can see the dial and you see the numbers and everything, and somebody had to actually like keep the numbers on a certain thing, and you had to keep the pressure in the machine at a certain level, and you had to keep it from getting too hot. So a person had to actually move those levers by hand, and that was their like shift. And sometimes some people would almost feel like they were going to die until their relief came on. Yes, Molly, the architecture is very important, and I'm paying attention to the architecture. Okay, really paying attention. So this is when Maria is put into, hey, this is not a med bed, this would be the anti-med bed, we could call it. So this is what we would know of a mad scientist, because of course these films inspired later films like Frankenstein and things like that. And we're going to talk about a few things. I want to go through film and some of the things they were working on and break these things, look at the root cause of a lot of things. So you can see the wires that are attached to the it's called a machine Menschen. I'll say it in German. Wait a minute. Menschen. Got my notes. How's it going there? Okay, so that name is, it's called Maschinenmensch. Maschinenmensch is German for robot. Maschinenmensch. And you can see how the mad scientist Rotwang and the other man who is the master of Metropolis, they realize he's telling Rotwang is telling him of his love for hell, which is spelled Hel, hell. And now you can see the robot getting charged up. Yes, Dr. Frauenstein. Yeah, we're going to talk about him too. A machine person is a mensch. Mensch equals person. Yes. So in Yiddish, you'll hear people say you're a good mensch. You're a good mensch. So that's something that is said a lot. Looks like Beetlejuice. Hey, Chris, looks like Beetlejuice. Yeah, right. And Anti-Maria is about to walk down the catwalk, and oh my goodness, we don't want any of that. But yeah, got her all juiced up, and she's about to take off. So he said, looks like the mayor of Chicago. Oh, Beetlejuice. Yeah, so this was a weird scene when Maria, the bad Maria, anti-Maria, she goes into this area that they have. It's like a church thing, and she starts like giving these impassioned sermons and getting the people all wound up. So it was pretty crazy. And this is when she does this dance, okay? And this dance is so bizarre, okay? She just like starts like doing this, this stuff. And I mean, this dance is crazy. So she comes out of this it looks like a big stone tub of some sort, and it opens up and you see the Art Deco grill. But I want to see who is holding up this big stone stage, I'll call it. If you see something, please say something. Who's holding up the stage? I just want to see if you see it, because I was tripping. Chris, do you see it, Chris? I was so done. Please, somebody tell me what you see. Is it me, or do I need glasses? Do I need a monocle on my eye? Because I see things. And I don't want to see it all the time, but I'm just, The veil is off and I can't help but see it. Who's holding up the stage? Can you make out the what's going on there? I'm waiting. Slaves. Wyoming chick. I love how you don't even stop at go. She just went straight. She says slaves. You're squinting. I know. You have to squint. Do you see it? You see it, Uma? It's not me making it up, okay? It's not me. But I'm just saying, what kind of hot dudes? You're saying hot dudes. Sabir, hello. I thought Maria was supposed to play the Jezebel as they did sacrifices to Moloch. Oh, yeah. They're all that figures in. I might play parts of the movie. I'm not going to play too much, but I just want to show. Okay, do I have to say it? What? Okay, you're saying the guys are naked, but what else are you seeing about the guys? I guess you would have to see the movie, like it would be more clear, but there's something that I was shocked. Another detail about them. You don't see it? Come on. Tell me. I'll move on. First person, say what do these guys there you are, Tina. They're black, everybody. I was like, oh my gosh. No, they didn't. They put the black guys, not just guys, that's a black woman and black man, two black women, and they're holding up this giant thing with their shoulders and their back. Okay, so I was like, okay, all righty then. So now we can see why the marriage of Thea and Fritz broke down, because, Fritz had a way with the ladies. And, I can imagine a director is always having everything thrown at them, right? So they can have roles in the movies. So you can see that, yeah. What are you saying, Karen? The movie is a ritual like many others are. Yes, it is. Yep. So you can see Fritz down there. So that's why Thea left him. Yeah, this is a Harvey Weinstein kind of a Me Too looking thing, right? Going on there. How you're getting your roles and all this other stuff is very highly competitive, everybody. So, okay. And guess what happened? Just like a film noir, melodrama that these people live, they write this stuff and they live it out. Thea picked up an Indian man named I.E. Tendulkar. So she ran off with an Indian man who was, I think they say 17 years her minor. So Thea is quite a jungle cat, right? What do you call it? A cougar? A cougar. Yeah. You got it. A cougar. Look at that. Are they progressive or what? What the heck? So yeah, Thea got herself an Indian man. She said, you could run off with those starlets if you want, Mr. Fritz. You're on the Fritz now. So this is probably the creepiest thing, just to give you an idea about who was Fritz. Look at him with the baby. It's like a nurse and a baby, and he's playing a flute. And it just gives me like Pied Piper creepy vibes, right? Am I over reading into it? But you can kind of see like, yeah. I'm not reading that. Extremely progressive. We don't have any idea on this era. Very much progressive. You said, David said cougar, maybe a caribou. Oh no. Oh my goodness. So yeah, you see Fritz with a monkey, a doll. We've been talking about dolls, but isn't this a weird doll to have? A monkey. He just looks like He looks like a guy that I would not want kids around. I wouldn't even want dogs or anything, monkeys around him. He gives me the, yeah, I don't know. So, Fritz was out there making a name and flying all over the world doing work, even into his old age. Yeah, so, hey, Nixon, kind of creepy. These people are sick. So I want to talk about briefly the whole aspect of film critics and film, what do you want to call them? You remember Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert. Does anybody remember these two? I'm bringing this in because I think I'm going to do a little deep dive on film critics and how they work into this whole apparatus. Because before I go on, I want you to know that Joseph Goebbels, who was the propaganda arm of the Nazi Party, he loved these people. They worked together, okay? So it is really obvious. We're not just saying this stuff. You can trace it all the way back to the Nazis. And I know people throw out their Operation Mockingbird, Operation Paperclip, but this puts a little more, a little more on that painting. Like we can see how they really did infiltrate all of this mass media, from the newspapers, magazines, to the movies, to so many things, right? So yeah, you remember them at the movies. Yeah, there you are, at the movies. So what I want to say about Siskel and Ebert is that I remember they had their regular show, and tell me if you feel the same way. If you liked a movie or didn't like a movie, or you hadn't seen a movie yet, they had a lot of influence. Do you agree? If they said that a movie was good, then you believed it, right? Because they had a lot of authority in terms of, we trusted them. We were in a different phase of our programming and conditioning. So they would appeal to authority through people like them. I don't think anybody cares anymore about film critics and things like that, not like they used to. So this, to me, I didn't expect to kind of look into film critics as well. But yes, it was their profession. Yes, to steer people in a different direction. So we took their word. And I just want to say that, yeah, Roger Ebert, he had a wife. This is his wife. He had cancer of the, I think it was of the mouth or neck, but it was sad during the later part of his life, if you remember. 1 minute, please. Okay, thank you. So not only that did Ebert have a black wife, it's okay for you to say it, he dated Oprah Winfrey. Look at that. Dated Oprah, and he was actually the one who told Oprah about syndication, because they're out of Chicago, right? Chicago, mom. So now you can see some early influence in Oprah's career. So yeah, he has a type, right? But it's interesting. I just find it interesting. So another thing that I found that I thought was rather odd was the studio where they filmed Metropolis. Again, if you see something, say something. Let me know if you see anything, and I'm gonna kick the wiki for the Babelsberg Studio Babelsberg. What I'm babbling. The crazy part is that these movie critics don't even watch the movie. Their ratings are based on the perks that they receive. Thank you. Exactly. Chris said, I used to love Siskel and Ebert and freaking Oprah. I know we did. We didn't know what we didn't know back then. So look at the logo. Does anybody see the logo? Have you been paying attention, friends? What do you see that's weird about the logo? What do you see? Well, there it is in your face, Tracy says. There it is in your face. This is where they filmed Metropolis. Okay, so Babelsberg Studio. It's located in Potsdam, Babelsberg, outside Berlin, is the oldest large-scale film studio in the world, producing films since 1912. It is Europe's largest film studio. So let's see. What else did I pick up about Babelsberg? So numerous filmmakers such as Marlene Dietrich, Alfred Hitchcock, Billy Wilder learned at the time in Babelsberg and began their world careers there. Okay. Yes, Babelsberg. And these are sort of the things that they create in more modern times at Babelsberg Studio. So you can see how they can do very elaborate stages. And they have big outdoor stages. Yes, there you are. More Egyptian stuff. Yeah. And more of the Babelsberg, Studio Babelsberg logos. So there you are. There's the connection. So for a movie that was made back in the 1920s, I find it highly odd that they would have the robot as the logo. And this is when the robot was getting the download of the consciousness of the woman Maria. And the robot is called the Anti-Maria, basically the whore of Babylon. And we're talking about Babel, Tower of Babel. So they're not hiding what they are all about. They're not hiding it. It's right there. And so we can see the transhumanism that many of the stars, the luminaries, as they like to call these people, have been involved in. And this is just something that they do to condition us. And I know people, I know people believe that maybe this crew will get this far, but I don't believe their programming is falling down. Okay. And they're not going to do anything like this that I believe personally. They just want to put this out there again, like someone said, so we can consent to it. But we are rising up and we don't want any part of their transhumanism. So this thing is not going to go anywhere. For anybody who gets nervous about that, it's my opinion that they are done. They are absolutely done. So this is Beyonce. She was probably the first modern day, as they call luminary star, to have the Metropolis programming in her body of work. So she did this during an awards show, and it was a big deal. Now, for people that love Beyonce, I hope that they start to unpack who she is, was, whatever, because she definitely went through a change. Her whole thing has been covered by so many people. I don't know if I would even bother covering it unless I see something a little bit new from a different angle. But she has been pretty much exposed. Hey, Deborah, pyramids are supposed to be charging stations. Yes, Deborah, thank you. Exactly. So, yeah, you say no love for Beyonce. She's evil. Yeah, I mean, very evil. Her husband as well, Nixon, everyone around Jay-Z turned evil. Yeah, exactly. And you can see Christina Aguilera as well as Janelle Monáe. And I think that, look at Janelle Monáe's album cover, it says Metropolis. And I think it's disturbing to have a robot with, it's dismembered. It's just so obvious what they have been trying to program. And we have to break their spells. And you can see, I try to bring a little bit of popular culture, the cosplay of it all. And you can see people think this Metropolis transhumanism is cute. Okay. So just look at that cuckoo-ness. Just looking to see if I forgot anything. Getting down to the end of this presentation. But I have something really, really special to share if you hang out a little bit longer. So, I thought of this. I did a live stream about Jessica Alves. If anybody caught that, I took it off of YouTube and it's on Rumble and BitChute. I believe it's on both BitChute and Rumble. But this is what I think of. And for women that have been fooled by the progressivism and things like that, and they felt they wanted to fight for all of these different groupings, if you see how women have been played, it's like this whole agenda was about replacing women and basically becoming better women than women, So we have to say no. They've gone too far. And we can't be afraid of being called phobic of anything, any sort. It's always the something phobic. I see a bot is here. I'll get the bot out. But this is Jessica Alves, who started out being addicted to the plastic surgery and went from just becoming like a human Ken doll to a whole woman and with a womb. I don't know where Jessica is in the journey of getting a womb and getting pregnant to have a baby, but they jumped the shark. And we have to start saying, no, there is a line and you've crossed it and we're not going along with it. You're not going to bully us into telling us that we're hateful. We're tired of this agenda. And that's why everything is falling down that they have created. It's falling away. And I felt bad. I felt a little bit like, I won't go live on New Year's Eve like I did with the whole like Christmas Eve. And I went live on Christmas too, because like I said, this year, I just feel like the timeline is so, I'm not able to get into some of these yearly things because I've changed. I've gone through a change, so I don't feel it right now. And I know that once we learn about the right timelines and things like that, we'll understand better about what this small group has done with time. But I didn't feel bad about going live tonight because I figure like, okay, look at what they've done to Christmas anyway. It turned into Das Papers, bah humbug. That's when the society has jumped the shark. I mean, this is not sustainable that you have to show Das Papers before you could sit down and have turkey and stuffing, or what do you call it? Stuffing, or do you call it dressing? But yeah, this is, I know a lot of people are feeling that it just doesn't feel the same anymore. They've ruined so much stuff. So yeah, you said us too, Jen. They ruined your holidays lately. Yeah, I mean, just the thought. I mean, I wasn't upset or anything. So don't, I'm not trying to say that, but I just wasn't into it. I couldn't really like, I don't know, I couldn't really do anything because I just wasn't feeling it. But yeah, I just heard of all the sad things. I even read, I came across, it was the Jesuit, they have a magazine or whatever online for the Jesuits, the Society of Jesus. And I was so shocked at the people that were angry because they had family members that weren't getting, you know, the thing, and they were upset. And yet they had had the thing like 4 times and boosters and everything, but they were angry about the unjabbed family members, and they felt like those family members were selfish. So, you know, if you have to show papers to do things in society and you don't see the connection to Nazi Germany, then we need to do a review, because it has gone Ouroboros, okay? And totally dystopic. And people have to wake up, because that's when it's gone way off the ledge. So I'm sorry if anybody wanted to see your papers so you could get turkey this year. Does anybody know who this young man is? Because I was a little surprised. That's right, Kim. Ridiculous among families. Anybody know who this young man would be? Old picture of a young man. Anybody? Let's see who can guess. Chris says Christmas is all about spending money online now. People don't even get out to drive through neighborhoods and look at lights because the freaking homeowners associations won't even allow it anymore, hardly. And malls, yeah, the malls are, a lot of them are dying, you know. Who said it? You said you think this is Zuck, and you think Orson Welles. Oh, another person. Hey, Emily, you think Orson Welles? Oh, this is fun to see who you think. You think Elvis? Okay. Anybody else? Not you guys haven't gotten it so far. Anybody want to guess before I tell you? Because I just love to see. Forever Clean Truth said Lex Wexner. No, not him. You think Wells too? No, not Wells. You ready? Ready for me to tell you? Jim says malls are dead. They are. It's over. It's over. Okay, I will tell you who this is. You won't believe me. This is none other than Adolf Hitler. Can you believe it? This is, I've noticed, because I collect a lot of pictures and images because of the projects I work on. And this is an image that wasn't released until recently. I know. I thought so too. It is really shocking, right? No way, right? Wow. Is that Aaron said, "Oh my God, he's hot." I'm serious. It's Adolf himself. It is the Führer, the Führer. Yes, Mein Kampf. It is the author of Mein Kampf. It is him. I'm shocked. I was like, no freaking way. You got to be kidding me. This is Hitler, everyone. It just all goes to show you. I'm just saying, when you look at this picture, it looks like somebody from a contemporary time. Someone said he looks hot. I'm not judging you, because remember I said I like the beards on the terrorists. So hey, we all have our preferences. He looks innocent to Kim. Dave, can you believe this? Julianne said bedroom. Ashley says that's what I was thinking he's on. Oh my God, that's so funny. Isn't that funny? Marlon, do you love it? That's before the reptiles got to him. I know, right? I can't take it. It is so shocking. History is it is just crazy, okay? I am just having too much fun now. And I want to tell you again, it was the mud floods, okay? You can blame it on the mud floods. This is why I'm seeing everything right now. I'm seeing things that I didn't see before. So let me see. I want to just go over my notes and make sure I covered a few things. I want to just say, like, the thing about jobs that, there were a lot of jobs lost during this lockdown and this thing that they did. But jobs are one of those things that a lot of people have realized that it is something that they wanted us to tie our identity to. But now that we're seeing that our identity is not in our job, because some people have had to give up their jobs because of their stand against things. I know, the damn mud floods. Look at what it does. Rita says, what's mud floods? Uh-oh. Rita, I'm going to do more about mud floods. Rita, I'm a new student of the mud floods and Tartarian architecture or Antiquitech. But I'll tell you one thing, if you go anywhere near this rabbit hole, you are going to be prepared. It is going to be life-changing in a good way. So yeah, I had to create something crazy for you, okay? I know the other stuff was a little bit dark and heavy. I'm not going to play the little snippet of Metropolis because I did pretty much a breakdown, and I don't want to get anybody, I don't want them striking the thing, because I want to keep up, like I said, the chat. So I just, I wanted to let you know, this is Dr. Ouchie, and the Freur is saying, you messed up Christmas? Oh my God. Or no, I got my joke wrong. He said, hold my beer, Hitler. They're going to have to show papers to come to Christmas. Hold my beer, Hitler. And you notice my crazy, right? I had to just make you laugh a little bit. Little laughter. Tina said, mud flood is the mother of all rabbit holes. That is the absolute truth. Hold my beer. Let's go, Brandon. You missed I know I missed the punchline. I messed it up. It was supposed to be I made my own little corny joke up about Hitler doing something and Fauci like, hold my beer. So you could still get a little laugh off of it. Oh, wait, before I go on, do you see the Tartarian? I want to keep pointing it out. Do you see the Tartarian architecture behind Hitler? There you are. There you are. Look at it. It's everywhere. Everywhere. Always messed up. You always messed up the punchline. Yes, Deborah. The Tarharian cities everywhere. That's right. That is right. Okay, so this is another doctor like Dr. Fauci. I'm sure this is where Faucism gets his inspiration. This is Dr. Joseph Mengele. Did anybody ever know what he might have looked like? I just want to show you because the pictures really show a different thing, right? You hear of Dr. Joseph Mengele and you think that he would look like, I don't know, like Dr. Death. But it's strange how they look kind of like everyday people. So it goes to show you that we cannot judge people by how they might look, because he was the architect for so much evil when it comes to our medical system, right? Yeah. So that's Joseph Mengele. And yeah, this is something that I was pretty shocked to hear. This year in Germany, in order to attend church and things like that, you had to show dust papers. Dust papers. If you didn't have dust papers, then you had to get the jab right there in church. Look at that. Is that ironic? They've got Jesus on the cross in the back there. Guy's got his face diaper, and he's getting jabbed inside of a church. This thing has jumped the shark for sure. I hope nobody got coerced in a church to take this. This has gone too far, people. If they haven't woken up by this, I don't know what it would take. So Dana says it's happening in New York right now and in Chicago beginning January 3rd. Oh my gosh. Right, Emily? Totally messed up. But I just wanted to show you, like, they've really gone crazy. So this is something that I wanted to show also. This is the Nuremberg trials that took place after Germany fell in World War II. And you can see the various officers that are standing up inside this trial. And you may think that the Nazis are just, I don't know, like maybe just military and stuff like that got caught and taken to these trials. But I want to just let you know that the people that are on trial in these pictures are doctors. Doctors. So I made a warning very early into this, and I tried to appeal to doctors and nurses, and I tried to warn them that you will not be able to claim ignorance. I was just doing my job. This is something that goes beyond Nuremberg, okay? So for those that want to see physical things in this system, I want to just suggest something a little different that I thought about, okay? But any doctors or nurses or anyone in healthcare who believes that you will have a out because you were just doing your job, you were just following orders, and you knew that what you were doing wasn't good, and you knew that you were lying to the public, because the ones that did not dissent and tell the truth, if you were too afraid, I feel bad, okay, for you. And everybody has room to repent, and that's between you and God. But I want you to know that no excuses. I was just doing my job. It's just not going to fly. And that's a serious thing. It's very sobering. So I just wanted to bring that to the attention of anybody who's on the fence and you know that what you're doing is wrong. Think about it. These are doctors that were standing trial in Nuremberg. Okay. Serious. I get really heated with this. Something that I didn't know that happened when you think about Germany and you think about genocide, there was a genocide that happened in an African country. Just give me a bit to look it up. Does anybody know what country it was? Namibia. Namibia. Germany tried to wipe out the people of Namibia. And I just want you to look at the faces of the people and just realize that genocide comes along with that whole world view. It grows out of Darwinism, and This is terrible. And, time is one of those things that I see the industrialists and these people, the cabal, whatever you want to call them, they're out of time. And that's one of the things that they have not been able to capture, even though they've messed with our time. And some people believe they've added 1,000 years to our timeline and everything is off. When you start looking into the timeline and calendars and maps and things like that, it'll shock you. But that's the one thing they have not been able to capture. And even though they say that time is money, it's not. That's just another thing that they lie to us about. Time is not money. So I want to just let you know this is a part of my journey. And you all that have been on the mud flood Tartarian journey, you're probably going to say, yeah, that's where it does lead. This journey for me, from the mud floods to the Tartarian Antiquitech, led me to the book of Enoch, the Ethiopic book of Enoch. And I've been wanting to read the book of Enoch, and you all may relate, but every time I wanted to ask about it and I presented it to somebody that I thought was in authority in the church, they would often say things that would deter me from reading the book of Enoch. They would say something like it's not canonized. It'll just confuse you. And now I'm thinking I'm glad I didn't read it before this time, on this period on this timeline, even though it's not a line linear. I don't know how to say it best, but I'll just use timeline for now. But is that what happens, Sabir? You knew that? It winds up in the book of Enoch, the Ethiopic book of Enoch. Right, Jim? So I love that some of you are already further ahead than us that are starting this mud flood journey. But Tina, I know you've been on it for a while. I appreciate your comments and things that you share. Tina, the truth seeker, perfect name, right? Yes, Jen, that happened to me with Enoch. It was like it was taboo. Yeah, they try to make you afraid, right? Karen says, Jen, everything happens when it's supposed to. Exactly. I really, really see it that way. And I'm glad that I'm not afraid of it. So guess what I did today? While I was doing some things, I was listening to it. You say the Ethiopian Bible is the most consistent. There you are. So I was listening because I haven't gotten a hard copy of the book, which I can't wait to get a hard copy of the Ethiopic book of Enoch. But I said, let me just listen to it. Maybe I could find a good channel that has it. And guess what? I listened to it. Something happened in my listening. I was just stopped in my tracks. So I want to share something that I think it's good news to share on a so-called New Year's Eve, okay? And this is for all the brothers and sisters who are fatigued right now. You're tired. You've been on this road. I feel for you if you've been one of the earlier truthers that were telling the truth about 9/11 and things, and you were beat down into submission or silence or whatever. It was hard to be a truther early before 2020. But I just want to give you this that helped me. Like I said, as soon as I started this mud flood journey, I got a big booster of hope. Oh, it helped me so much because I used to study the eschatology. That was the part of the Bible I really loved the most. And I wasn't sure, of course, where we were on the Bible's timeline, I'll say. And there were many people like Hal Lindsey, Roxella and Jack Vanapee. You probably know some of these names. And I used to listen to a lot of these kind of people. And sometimes they would get into date setting. And date setting is one of the most damaging things because it can cause people to lose their faith, and it's very demoralizing. So we've heard of different factions, like I think the Jehovah's Witnesses, they did a really big date setting thing. I forget the year, but they all like sold all their things. They moved up to a mountain and they were just waiting for the second coming to happen in a certain way. And the day came and left, and nothing happened according to their expectations. And it hurt them. It hurt the faith of many people. So a lot of people actually left based on that. And I just want to say that for anybody who feels hurt, if you have been hearing that things are supposed to happen a certain way, I know I believed a whole lot of things that I trusted in certain, authorities and things like that. And I just had to, just start to dial it back and think about things in a different way. And God really recalibrated the way that I was looking at information. So if you think nothing is happening and you want to see actual televised tribunals, I want you to know that God and his angel army, whatever you want to call it, his hosts of angels, they have a courtroom that, let me tell you, it has nothing on the Nuremberg trials. And where these people and entities and other things are going, it's way better, way deeper than Gitmo. Okay? So I want to read this, and this is in light of the unpacking of the spells that have been put on us from Hollywood, entertainment, academia, literature, all of that stuff, politics, sports. I'm going to read this passage to you. And this comes from the book of Enoch. And those who have led the world astray, with chains shall they be bound, and in their assemblage place of destruction shall they be imprisoned, and all of their works vanish from the face of the earth. And on that, I want to say amen. That hit me, and I felt that. And when I was listening to the book of Enoch, this is amazing. I have never heard scripture that hit me the way that these scriptures have hit me, just on my first listen. So I look forward to now getting, because I love paper. I want to feel it. I don't want to just listen to it, but I want to do both. So I am thinking about doing a study of the Ethiopic book of Enoch. And I want to invite you all to come along that journey for the people who were afraid and, you were just, I don't know, things they put a number on us, right? So I'll keep you posted on that, but I really think it'll be a blessing going into 2022 to unpack the book of Enoch. So what are you all thinking? I think that's it. That's it for my slideshow. I'm not gonna play the, like I said, I'm not gonna play parts of the movie because I want to keep our thing up. Oh, as I'm looking through your post, there was something that I notated from listening to Enoch. When we hear of the name Methuselah, right? What do you think of when you hear Methuselah? Anybody? Methuselah. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear Methuselah? Let me hear. I love to see that we're all on the same page. Anybody, when you hear Methuselah, I know we all have heard the name Methuselah. You think Medusa? Nixon says Medusa. Methuselah, aging. There you go. Aging and old. There you are. That's what, yeah, that's right. He was the oldest. Okay. So this came to me when I was listening to Enoch, and this has to do with the Tartarian Empire and how they have tried to take down that ancient antiquitech, how they did the World's Fairs. And I'm going to go over that with you all. And so that there's no respect for the old world. And we see that even in our culture, they chase after youth, and you age out of this system, you become invisible, they put you out to pasture, they don't respect older people. In fact, this thing that came through in 2020, they called it the boomer remover. So they have sought to get rid of a certain generation. And you think about, what is it about the older generation that they want to break the tie between the older and the younger generations, and they cause the enmity between them. So Methuselah, just when they used to say old as Methuselah. Did you grow up and when people would try to put someone down, like they try to talk about someone's mother, if they had an older mother or, whatever, they say, oh, that person is old as Methuselah. Did you ever hear that said in that way? Well, that shows you that there's a lack of respect for older architecture, the old world, older people. So that should change our perspective when we're going into this Ethiopic book of Enoch. When we hear about Methuselah, it's going to be very interesting because Methuselah is going to come up in that book. But I'm just saying, like, those are the things we've been programmed to not respect older people. So you heard the same thing, Jamel? You heard it in the South. Yeah, that was a put down when they would say old as Methuselah. So it'll change the way we're undoing all that programming. So I just wanted to say there's a great reckoning. You know how they called everything the great this, the great reset, the great this? There's a great reckoning coming. And when you read the book of Enoch, there's a lot of calculations, it looks like the reckoning of time, the way that they stole time and fooled us about everything, the maps and everything, all that has been recorded in heaven. That's why I'm saying, do not get frustrated. Do not lose heart that you think the evil people are getting away. Ghislaine Maxwell, whatever. These people are finished. Okay. Again, I will read this one more time. And those who have led the world astray, with chains shall they be bound, and in their assemblage place of destruction shall they be imprisoned, and all of their works vanish from the face of the earth. That includes all of their books, their Hollywood crap, everything. It'll vanish, all of their works. So don't worry. Keep your eyes on God. He has really got this. So I love you all. That's it for tonight. I will be back soon. I'm so excited to bring you some of these things that I come across. And I think I covered everything for now. I'll look at some of your comments. Let's see. Even when I was looking at the when I was listening, it was talking about 364 days. So you could see how, okay, they're saying 365 days. So it's just discrepancies, but it's all going to be reckoned. Okay. It's all going to be straightened out. It's all been recorded, everyone. Okay. So if you would like to tip your hostess, that is the way you can do it. I want to thank all of you for your love and support, for your prayers, your comments, your likes, your shares, all of that. I love you all. And this is going to be a great future for those who have chosen life, who have chosen to be on God's side. Okay? So thank you. Let me see what's going on here in the chat. Thank you, Emily. Thank you. Lots of love to you, Debbie. Hey, Mark, 1 Timothy 2:4, who will have all men to be saved and to come into the knowledge of the truth. Thank you. Many blessings to you all, too. To you, thank you, sis. Linda says, I came in late. This was really good. Some Enoch books are better than others. Great show. Thank you. I'm going to get, now tell me what you all think. I'm going to get the Ethiopian book of Enoch. So I'm going to, that's the version I want. Love you too, Jim. Love and blessings, David. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you, Marlon. Love you. Thank you, Patrice. Love you too. Nancy, Happy New Year to you. Aaron, oh, you're so sweet. Thank you, Aaron. Blessings, Linda. Happy New Year. Thank you, Christine. Jamil says, off to Gitmo. That's right, Patrice. God wins. Kim, the future looks bright. Here's to a better 2022. Indeed. Hi, Simone. You're welcome. Hugs and kisses to you. Thank you all. Much love, Wall Dragon. Thank you. Thank you. Teresita, hello. Ernestina, thank you. Love you all. Thank you, Tina. All right, everybody, take care. Bye.